Aloha mai kako, a Komamani Curtain Call, a program of reviews, previews, interviews, and features of and or with the great art and artists on Maui and beyond. I'm Paul James Brown. The first Maui Biennial opened on July 5th and will continue until August 26th at the Schaefer International Gallery of the Maui Arts Cultural Center. The exhibit has been in the planning stages for more than a year, and it is made possible in part by the County of Maui Office of Economic Development and Hawaii Tourism Authority through the Community Enrichment Program. The juror for this show was Dr. Andreas Marks, who is the Mary Griggs Burke Curator of Japanese and Korean Art and Director of the Clark Center for Japanese Art at the Minneapolis Institute of Art. The process for jurying the show began with the call to Hawaii artists across the state to submit digital images of new work. 390 images were received. Dr. Marks selected the images he wanted to see in person and visited each island, finally selecting a total of 40 works from 38 artists, a highly selective show. The variety of work and the excellence demonstrates what an extraordinary breadth of outstanding artists we are blessed to have in the Aloha State. Besides $10,000 in 3 cash prizes, the State Foundation on Culture and the Arts selected 5 works for inclusion in the state's collection. 5 others have sold for a total of $64,200. Maui's own Claudia Johnson was the big winner. She received the 2500 Juror's Choice Excellence in Three-Dimensional Art Award, and she was selected by the State Foundation on Culture and the Arts Public Art Acquisition Committee to be included in the state's collection for the strawberry guava, Java plum, paint, varnish, and wire work entitled Solace. It is an astounding work that dances on the wall. It is simultaneously elegant and primitively rough-hewn. It is delicate, but makes a strong, bold, beautiful statement. The juror's choice, along with the $5,000 top award, went to Kauai artist Sally French for this powerful atomized acrylic, wax pencil, India ink, rhinestones, faux fur, rag paper, sanded polymer resin piece entitled Futterwacken. On birch panel, the viewer is told in the artist's statement the title is a nonsense word from Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland, referring to a senseless dance by the Mad Hatter. The work is about the current trend to particularize and specify personal pronouns. The artist wonders if this will stay, change, or, quote, remain a nonsensical dance, recalled as an anomaly particular to this moment, unquote. The unusual hanging around a corner, coupled with the fantastic faces, makes this a piece that lingers in one's mind's eye. The final prize for excellence in 2 dimensions of $2,500 went to Susan Thomas of Oahu for Flower. It is shooting targets, plastic, graphite, ink on paper. It occupies an entire wall. The colors of the targets are electric, accentuated by the equally bright wall color. Here the artist has created a flower from targets, thus making a profound statement about our current plague of gun violence. She has another work in the show, one of only 3 artists with more than one work in this show. It is called American Pie. It is 3-dimensional, and I thought it was at once intensely thoughtful and humorous, telling the viewer America's favorite dessert is bullets. Besides Ms. Johnson's work, the State Foundation on Culture and the Arts selected 4 more works for inclusion in its collection. This oil on canvas by Oahu artist Eduardo Joaquin, entitled Sabong, which means cockfighting, shows the triumph of one rooster over another. The composition of the work is exceptional. One's eyes are drawn to the colorful victor, who dominates the piece. When I first looked at the work, I couldn't see the shape of the woeful white victim. It is so contorted. Also, the dramatic nothing space Mr. Joaquin has chosen to place the image in emphasizes the universal nature of this practice in many cultures, especially Filipino, which is his ethnic background. A cement, pigments, clay, plastic, and pumice work by Hawaii Island artist Cody M. King, Slow Burn, dominates another section of the gallery. These sculptures rest on wonderfully intricate carved, burnt, and sealed wood platforms that complete this magnificent display. These works can be separated and displayed in various groupings or by themselves. Their medium, cement, belies their appearance as fruit or vegetables. Enrico Baton, who is from Michigan, is the only out-of-state resident chosen for this exhibit by virtue of his enrollment in the Master of Sculpture program at the University of Hawaii, Manoa. When I first saw his glass sculpture collapse, it reminded me of an unrolled batch of 35mm negatives from the old film days. Upon closer inspection, I saw it was an exquisitely crafted, tripartite fused glasswork, perfectly balanced and intricately designed. It will make a fine addition to the state's collection, and it will be interesting to see where Mr. Baton's future work takes him. Finally, we come to the State Foundation's final purchase, Oahu's Keith Giordano's Liminal No. 4. It is graphite, acrylic, and ink on paper. For me, the measure of a great artist is their ability in pencil/graphite drawing. Mr. Giordano is not only a thoroughly fascinating artist and master, but he is also a poet. I'm going to read Mr. Giordano's entire poetic statement while we explore his work. Quote, I stood in front of a drawing surface before thoughts and memories announced themselves. The empty paper, like a visual silence I could step into, a blank gift welcoming all expressions to hover through stillness of unmarked space and grow. A sensation rose within me. I moved into gestures that scored the surface, my lines like cells dividing, expressive marks expanding in ways the Big Bang broadened into the universe, swelling new energies in all directions, forms, and functions. A space where automatic drawing births marks previously unknown. The raw scrawls ripen into renderings like buds opening to blossoms before my eyes, each gesture a bloom, pollinated by its relationship with neighboring marks that bear the fruit of compositions, movements, growth from interact within a picture plane. Drawing, like the beginning of a small universe weaving natural elements with time to birth a world previously unimagined. Unquote. I've only discussed a small portion of the delights that await the viewer. There are many other works that merit discussion in this beautiful exhibition, including this extraordinary holograph and monoprint blend called Ke'ano by Maui's Abigail Romanchik and Oahu's Charles Cohen, depicting the silence of Haleakala, Sidestroke by Carol Bennett, this weaving called Transitions by Dick Nelson's protege Sherry Levin McNerthney. Note the colors on both sides. Melissa Chimera's autobiographical inheritance, natural history, and every other piece in this show. The Schaefer International Gallery of the Maui Arts Cultural Center is open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and until 7:30 p.m. at selected Castle Theater and Yokouchi Pavilion events until August 26th. Admission is free, but donations are gladly accepted. Gallery Director Jonathan Y. Clark and his exhibits coordinator Peter Holland have gone above and beyond to maximize the aesthetic experience for the viewer through exceptional lighting and transforming the wall color in areas that made the works explode with beauty and color. Bravo! Well, that's Curtain Call for this week. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Paul James Brown. Ah, hooey ho.